Peace and blessings, family. Welcome back to another edition of Church After Hours. As you can see, we got our brother in here, Brother Ant. First time jumping on with us this season, man. Before we get started, man, just tell us a little bit, man. What's been going on? How you been, brother?
What's up, families? What's up, French? What's up, famo? 2024. You know, I just celebrated my birthday last month, May number 45. So
Yeah.
I call this my Trump year. So it's good. I'm a wild card year. This is my wild card year.
Right.
Me and the wife, I've been getting this foundation together. We launched our foundation in November of last year. Actually, October of last year, 2023. So we've been working on that. We have a celebrity golf tournament that we have in next week in Vegas at the Wynn. Traillionares Foundation.org. If you want to, you check it out. We deal with financial literacy, self-efficacy, and career readiness. And we work with 8 to after college, so on up. So we have programs and mentorships that we do provide because we believe that financial literacy has been the gap between us and our counterparts. So we want to fill gaps. So we're a gap filling organization, man.
Right. So, and I just want to salute to you and wifey. I mean, we talk offline, giving y'all props, but salute y'all publicly for the work that y'all doing. That's very, very important. And let me check in with my man French, aka C. Kareem II, man. We missed you last week. What's been going on, man? How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. I can't complain. Yeah, big shout out to the Traillionaires Foundation. That's some good work, man. You doing. But other than that, man, just chilling. See, I got my Reds cap on, man. We happy we got Josh back.
Right,
what I mean?
Right. Hometown hero for sure.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about a lot tonight. And tonight is kind of a free flowing show. It's what we call current events. So we're gonna touch on some hot topics. Shout out to my man Josh, a local hero there. Went to school. Kurt went to school with his older brother, Vincent, and happy to see him come back home, played at UC, and now he's finishing his career with his hometown team. So that's always dope to see that. But we got a couple hot.
You play with Vince?
Yeah, when he transferred to Princeton.
Oh yeah, me and Vince was Little League.
Y'all was on the same Little League team.
Yeah, Little League. That's my father. That was tough.
Yeah. We don't talk about Little League. We was hard. We was hard hit. You know what I mean? We was hitting hard. We wasn't out there. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up, brother.
But yeah, man. So let's jump right into it, man. It's a lot of stuff that's been happening around the world, especially here in these United States of America. And let's start off this Church After Hours. I think we need to start off at the church house. Let's go to Houston, Texas, down to Lakewood Church. Pastor Joel Osteen, they experienced a shooting. And when I was, just doing some fact finding and looking up some general information, I found out it happened around 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it was a young lady. Which you never really see. But Kurt, we talked about that shooting in Tennessee last season, how it was a young lady that did that shooting. So this was a young lady in a black trench coat.
Hey, the one last season, we never quite figured out was it.
That's true. That's true.
Trans lady or
right.
Hold on, we got to use the term allegedly.
Right.
But this person in Houston, Texas, was a woman identified, and she had a little child with her. And she came into the church, and they said the service had it was an afternoon service, and they had started. And Joel Osteen said he was happy that it wasn't in between services because she could have harmed more people. Nobody was killed from what I heard. People were injured, but she was killed. And the little child that she had with her was injured. He's in the hospital fighting for his life. So let's just go to Ant, since this is his first time joining us this year, man. When you saw that story, man, what did it, what did it make you think of? Because I know what I thought, and I'll share that, but I want to hear your take first.
It made me just think of people getting tired of lied to, man, about these, this is, it's touchy, but these big churches, these big, huge mega churches where they got you got unlimited resources, and you say you helping, and are you really helping? So I mean, we know history of when the flood that happened in Houston.
You read my mind.
My man said, "Nah, we closing the doors."
He locked them doors. That's right.
So just if I'm looking at it just from outside looking on TV, it's like that's foul. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to the church, so I don't know. But when you have a woman coming in shooting off, that's a whole different type of ball game to me, like mentally. Like a woman's coming in shooting, so what? 9 times out of 10, she was shooting at him. She's shooting at a man.
Right. Kurt, what you think, man?
Yeah, I totally agree along the lines of, closing the church out and the church having all the money, and most likely this mother and her child. I mean, the first thing I honestly think about is, she done got taken for long enough, and their money's still funny,
right? And
they credit just won't get it. So, you know what I mean? She taking that anger out that is in a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna guess this lady is Caucasian because
yes, they said she was white.
For some reason, through everything we done been through, we still find a way to be peaceful, which still baffles me.
Yes. You know what I mean? And I don't think we're gonna take the kids too, Carl.
What's that?
I don't think we're gonna run in there with the kids either,
that part,
right? You know
that part.
Well, hopefully we wouldn't, right?
Yeah. But no, it's funny, Kurt, because I just right before we came on, I was looking at something. I've been looking at I was looking at Mike Epps' post. He was talking about how black people, white people have a different relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? And it made me instantly think about that shooting yesterday. But here's where my mind went yesterday. It made me think, and this is a little bit left of center of where y'all went. It made me think about what happened to those brothers and sisters in South Carolina who was sadly gunned down by, let's just say, the white domestic terrorists who killed all those beautiful black and brown people that was in the church. Right. And it made me happy that people was in the church. It was off-duty police officers, and it was people that was just regular parishioners. They had that thing on them, and they was able to neutralize her, so it wasn't a mass murder or a bunch of people wasn't killed. So that's what my mind went. I was happy that a lot of people wasn't hurt and harmed, but I was also happy that she was able to be neutralized because, again, if that's in a place like New York or something where people are not allowed to carry their weapons, you know what I'm saying? This could have been a travesty that we've never seen before. So I was happy that those off-duty police officers and just the regular civilians in Texas that had they pistols with them, they was able to neutralize her and save lives. That's where my mind went. You know what I'm saying? But I totally agree with y'all talking about, she probably was one of the ones that might have got taken up top and had enough. Boy. And then here's another part I want to talk about too, fellas. And this is the statement that Joel Osteen made himself. He said, even though it's an unfortunate event, he said he glad it happened the way it happened, because had it happened in between services where you have a lot of people out walking through the hallway of the church, because it's the old Houston Rockets Stadium, it would have been more casualties and more potentially more people harmed and more deaths. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and it was a Spanish speaking service, so a lot of the people in there could have potentially been Mexican and whatnot. So I thought
that puts a different twist on it.
That's a component that I just read about and made me think about that as well.
Look, that puts a different twist on it. And with that being said, I want to say one thing. Look, especially speaking to our people, leave our brown brothers and sisters alone. Stop letting this media make you think that they coming to take your jobs. Mm-hmm. They are coming to keep this country from collapsing because the workforce has gone to shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, flat out. The people that's working in those jobs that the Mexican brothers and sisters are doing, a lot of people don't want to do.
Yeah, we don't want to do them no way.
Or they will be doing them.
Yep.
Now, and I see you got a look on your face, so go ahead. You know what I
mean? What? No, I get it, but when you, it's not. I agree with you. our black and brown people, we should be, we should be united with all. But at the same time, when you've been picking up shit, and you've been picking up shit the whole time, and now, you know what I'm saying, you want to be compensated better than I ain't picking up shit no more if you ain't paying me no more. You know what I'm saying? Like in some aspects, you know what I'm saying, but not in all. But I agree with I don't know what's going on, because now you done shifted to something else. When we talking about these people coming in, we talking about the Lakewood Church.
No. All I want to say is I was thinking that the young lady may be mad
at that
because of the rhetoric that's being pushed, that these people are coming to take jobs, and I just disagree with that rhetoric. But go ahead, my brother.
And two things can be true. It could be a combination of both of those things. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Right.
But before we transition, man, we may have had some laughing moments in the segment. We don't want anybody to think that we're laughing at what happened. But again, some of the things that happen in this world is just crazy. And, like we said, a lot of people are upset about being taken advantage of with some of these pastors and some of these mega churches. We see it happen every day. So it's not like, we're making this stuff up. And, some of those things are funny when people just, say enough is enough. You know what I mean? We see a lot of foolishness taking place in the church today. And it's not even just the black church. It's the white, what I call them, the Starbucks churches as well. You know what I'm saying? So, peace and blessings to everybody that had experienced that traumatic experience in the so-called house of the Lord on yesterday.
Yeah, because we should never live in fear. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, in that aspect, it puts us fear. Like, you're scared to go to the grocery store. You can't even go
Buffalo
say a prayer. I'm trying to go say a prayer, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm jumping out the truck like New Jack City, just trying to, what I'm saying, say a prayer. Right. It's living in fear is where that's not right. Like, as a human, like sure. we have a right to our freedom, and if,
that's right.
And that takes away freedom. You know what I'm saying? That, the absence of us just walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? It's bananas. But enough is enough. When the person is enough. We can't control somebody else's reaction.
That's real. That's real.
Busting in the door.
Right. Well, let's transition to the Super Bowl. We know the Super Bowl was last night. We're gonna talk about the game a little bit, and then we can talk about our brother Usher and his halftime performance. I'm gonna go to Kirk first, man, because I have my thoughts about the game. I thought it was a fairly good game. And I won't say fairly, it was a good game, but I saw some inconsistencies throughout the game that just, annoyed me. Why, and it pretty much justified why I really don't watch the NFL that much. This is probably the only game I watched from beginning to end all season. But what did you think about, the game and the Chiefs pulling it out in overtime last night?
Well, I believe that as successful that the Chiefs have been, people have tape on you, as they call it. They're able to watch and study what you do, and I think majority of people have done that. Looks like San Francisco has done that. It was a defensive matchup, which a guy like me love. I love defense.
Yeah.
It's not popular with majority of people that watch the game, but there was very little scoring.
Yeah.
And I actually, saw something that really jumped out at me, which was Travis Kelce. He bumped Andy Reid on the sideline, for everybody to see. I almost knocked him over.
I was like, can we even say bump? Can we just go and say he pushed him? Because he almost made him fall.
Well, I wouldn't say push because he didn't have his hands
It
out,
wasn't an extension. Okay.
He just, you know what I mean? I mean, it's still a push. It's still a push. You're right. Because I caught a couple of guys with the chicken wing like that in school back in the day. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a push. But, I just thought, the way that Tony Romo was quick to try to define it and get the narrative in the right direction. Like, I hate. I'm gonna tell you, I hate doing this. If that was us,
right? I hate doing that too. I hate it too
because we know, it's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
So to even go down that road is, but we got to, you know what I'm saying? Because if that was Antonio Brown
or Terrell Owens,
or if it was somebody like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or if it was just a brother, period, he would have been immediately demonized.
Yeah, the whole
it would have been a conversation he probably would have been benched, and it probably would have been a conversation today of should he receive his ring? You know what I mean?
Right.
Things like that. But I really thought it was distasteful.
Yeah.
And I don't care. And Boomer was the only one that said something about it.
He did. Shout out to Boomer.
And who was the one that was quick to defend was Nate Burleson. CBS Mornings. So, like my man Dick Kirker always said, you know what I mean? It's a game. It's a game.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, go ahead,
your boy Travis feeling himself, man. He finna marry a billionaire, man. Come on, man. You can't tell me nothing. This man he got a whole bunch. He just got vilified. Said he started to fade. Andy Reid on the sideline talking trash to. He wouldn't have did that to Mike Tomlin.
Right.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now if we say the narrative, let's put it in the
in the reverse. I like that.
That's smart.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
Let's put it on. He wouldn't have did that to Mike Tomlin.
Right.
He wouldn't have did that to D'Amico Ryans.
Right.
He wouldn't even have did that to that Detroit Lions coach neither.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have did that. You're right. He wouldn't have did that. Dan Campbell. But he knew. People pick and choose what they want. What they do. The Super Bowl to me was cool. It was a whole. It wasn't the Super Bowl was about Taylor Swift though. It wasn't about the football game. Yeah, so it's about what the Swifties and what they bring to the game and how they collaborate. I'm not saying I'm going back to Kelsey. He got a lot of emotions. You can ask me interviews. We talking about the Super Bowl, but all the interview questions to me is about Taylor Swift. The man frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Now he's in the bunkers, but Super Bowl was cool though. It was cool. Vegas had it 47.5, and that damn score was 47 points. So anytime
that over under,
yeah. So it was gonna go that way. San Francisco had chances. They lost to me. You can't rig a block kick. However you want. Like I didn't see. They missed their kick. The opportunities they had, the game should have never gone to overtime.
Yeah, because if that extra point don't get blocked, they got to score a touchdown to win the game versus get a field goal to tie it up. But I will say this. I won't say the game was necessarily rigged. I will say this, though, because me and my sons, we was counting it. We just this is out of control. I just felt like it was an insane amount of non-holding calls on the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. And them two boys from Ohio State in that first quarter, they was getting after Mahomes. He got sacked in the first half twice, more than he got sacked the whole playoffs. Young got one, and Bosa got a multiple rushes that he made him rush and didn't get sacks. And then the big brother, whose wife is a doctor, number 91, I forget his name, he had a sack. So they had so much pressure, but in that second half, he didn't get touched, bro. So I just felt like they had a little bit of help, you know what I'm saying? But it was still a great game nonetheless. What I will speak on Travis Kelce. Again, we don't have to say what we already know is to be true. I thought it was whack that he did that. It was the first quarter of the game, and I guess he was upset he wasn't in the game when the dude fumbled the ball. But it's not like, you know what I'm saying, you could have changed that outcome. You know what I mean? So I didn't really understand why he was that ramped up that early in the game. But let's stay on the game and let's transition. Shout out to the Chiefs, to see if they can win 3 in a row.
Hey, hold on. One more thing. And brought up Taylor Swift, and I just want us to think about something when we keep seeing her on the screen after plays. What about the coaches that we're used to seeing after play? What about the parents that put in all this work that we're used to seeing
after plays
and during this game?
Yep.
And lastly, what about that man's girlfriend or own wife?
Right.
The real story is Patrick Mahomes. Let's just be all the way.
Let's be clear.
Let's be all the way clear.
Yeah.
They're manufacturing this story of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, but just what about these other people that are totally getting overshined by somebody that has enough shine? And I'm gonna say this lastly, even my daughter was, and she went to the Taylor Swift concert and was all hyped about it. even she was rooting for the 49ers last night. I'm serious. And when I said something to her, and I said, "What, you tired of her?" She said, "Isn't everybody?"
I love Sophie, man. That's hilarious. That's real. Yeah. But let's transition to the halftime show, man. Our man Usher Raymond, man. You know what I'm saying? We know Usher's always been our brother Ant, one of his favorite artists of all time. What did you think of Usher's halftime show, Ant, man?
Usher, it was he put on a performance. Usher he's a performer. He's an entertainer. That's what he does. He definitely entertains. I had the privilege of seeing him at his residency shows, and I'm talking about he gives it to you every night, everything. And I do want to say, you know what I'm saying?
Pause. We just being childish, but go ahead.
He said he
give it to you every night with everything.
Hey, I won't do that again. I couldn't pass that
up. Because I don't want to get canceled.
Right.
But okay, now
he about to be thinking about it.
Don't do it. I won't do it no more. Go ahead, bro.
I got to think about it. But no, I had the privilege to see Usher in Vegas, and he's quite the performer. His performance in Vegas is good. You know, he got a lot of hits, a lot of music. He brought out a bunch of artists last night. Now we all know what we saw out there in regards
to Boo.
It's entertainment. It's only what Jay-Z say is only entertainment.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what but I also know the entertainment song of my boy DJ. You say he's just a friend. So when we say that, I don't know. It was a lot of it was. My wife said, I went upstairs. I said, "What you think about the performance?" She said, "It was a little huggy." I said, "Oh, yeah, huggy." Okay. But I don't know. That exchange just said it was. I mean, they're friends and all, but they was entertaining.
Usher just got married over the weekend in Vegas. They said he got married in the sleek private ceremony, so he just got married to his girlfriend that he been dating for the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's fine. What did Swiss say? What do you think Swiss said? How y'all think Swiss felt about it?
He made a comment. He made a statement.
Yeah, he replied and he spoke about always being peaceful and no bad vibes,
no bad energy.
No bad energy, because the internet immediately started chopping at the bit at this situation.
Yes.
Of course.
Go ahead, brother. You still on?
No, I said, of course. No, I'm just agreeing with you. Of course, they talking about it.
Yeah. Man, I thought once again Usher, has fine-tuned his performance with that, 2-year residency?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Usher, a lot of people can perform, but I would think when you have a 2-year residency, man, you got that thing running like a old school, old school Ford, you know what I'm saying? That you done tuned up to precision.
Right.
Because I mean, the way he chopped those songs, they went so smoothly. I was surprised that he got as many songs in and got you feeling them so quickly, so I wish he would have. I know he opened up with a slight hint of My Way. I wish he would have did that.
That's our joint though. That's
yeah. But you can't have everything.
Yeah.
Lastly, the situation with Alicia Keys and Swizzy. I just think that was one of the things they probably joked about before. We know that's what he does to females when they come out to Vegas. We know that, some guys be in denial that they women done went out there and got thrusted on.
Right.
But, it's just reality. And, and I love the fact that Usher had the balls to do it to Keys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It was one shot, though, where she, he hugging her and she pointing. So I feel like that he asked her, like, where your husband sitting at? You know what I mean? And looked at him while he was. I swear, I seen a picture. I'm gonna put it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, it was all in fun, I believe.
Yeah. And the women level, I mean, we sitting there watching the game, and me and my sons look at each other like, look at your mom. They're like, we ain't never seen that side of you before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was a college freshman again. You know what I'm saying? You know, so and it's all cool, it's all fun. But I want to go back to something that Ant said, and I think is very crucial, and I think all artists should take a look at this. And we talked about this.
Oh, hold on. Quick pause.
Yeah.
Did your wife go see Usher? Is that what you?
No, I'm saying she went to the residency too, but she
didn't go to the residency.
She went to the residency. Yeah,
she was giddy last night.
Her girls from college went, and she was giddy last night as if she was back in Vegas again.
I just want to pause right there.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. But I want to go back to something we talked about with Bonds a couple weeks ago with the music industry and artist development. And when you look at artists like Usher, Beyonce, that artist development is so crucial, man. And people gonna say we being old men, get off our line again. But you have to be honest. These younger artists don't have that artist development and don't put on shows like what we see at Usher or Beyonce or artists of that ilk of the type of shows that they put on. Like they're students of Mike, Prince, James Brown, and they looking to give the fan an experience. So hopefully the younger artists can see how much it took to put into that show. It was 13 and a half minutes and it felt like a half hour. Like Kurt said, he got so much in such a short period of time. I loved how he, started off shouting out his moms, because the people that know Usher and follow his career, his mom is the one that moved him from Tennessee, from Chattanooga to Atlanta and got him in the music industry and was his manager for the first 10 to 12 years of his life, a la Beyonce's dad. So I just thought it was a great paying homage to the Atlanta and ATL culture. And I love how he brought out different artists, her, will.i.am. You know, it was just a great representation of R&B music and black music. And I thought he did it at a high level.
Yeah, the way, man, her did that solo guitar.
That slash solo, yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, that set it in another lane for me.
It did.
Fact. It did, and it let the world know too that, you know, we are the real musicians, not like Suki Hana said, musicians.
Hey man, that was hilarious, man.
Hey, that had to be set up.
It had to be. She couldn't believe that, man. Like she really can't believe that, bro. But let's stick with music, man. Let's make a quick transition. Like CBS has had 2 big weeks. Whenever they get the Super Bowl, they always place it either before or after the Grammys. And the Grammys was last Sunday. And our good brother, Sean Carter, received the Dr. Dre, the second annual Dr. Dre, I guess it's like a mover and shaker award or something. And he used his time to give his speech talking about his wife and not getting the respect of winning the album of the year. When an artist like Taylor Swift has won it 4 times, you know, Prince never won it, Mike only won it once, and Stevie Wonder won it 3 times. So yeah, it's crazy. So when we look at Jay-Z's speech and overall look at the landscape of the Grammys, what do you guys think? Because and let me go first. I'll just say this and let y'all take it. One, I don't understand why we still seek validation from these people, for one. For 2, they've done this all the time. The best album doesn't always win album of the year. It never ceases to amaze me that we still get upset over these people and their award shows. But I'll let you go first, Ant.
First off, Kanye been saying this for years, what Jay-Z said. So, you know what I'm saying? I like how Sean Carter always like denounces something and then comes back and takes it. Contradicts. He denied he ain't want nobody doing the NFL. Then he did the NFL. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the Grammys is at this point to me. I didn't watch them because I don't. It's nothing for me to see. I mean, everything I see, honestly, on the Grammys, really, somewhat, a lot of what goes against my moralistic type views. What I see, it's not entertaining to me. What I see on what they're showing and what they're programming. So I wasn't into it, but I mean, we make the Grammys go. They're getting all their music from us anyway. Like we're behind the scenes. We're the real writers. When stuff will come out 50, 60, 70 years later that the Beatles, everybody, the Beatles didn't do nothing. He kicked the Beatles out and had the black musicians come in and do the whole Beatles album for them. Then they come in off drugs, not so high. They don't even know that they didn't even do the album.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Grammys, we have to give our, our, I guess we want recognition. We want recognition. We want it. So, we want to be, the Grammys is what it is. Give us a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? We clearly know that. Who won Album of the Year?
Taylor Swift for the 4th time.
Taylor Swift is trash. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm not like I've been listening to her shit. She started off like vulture culture and our music and singing like she, with us, and then trying. I don't like Taylor Swift. She gets a lot of just a lot of hype for what I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. She's a culture vulture. She came out with my niggas Juicy J. You know what I'm saying, with that song talking about her Jordans and you know what I'm saying. She know how to play it. I ain't gonna lie, she know how to play it. But I mean, come on, man. This Taylor Swift stuff is just, and Beyonce's been losing to these. She's been losing to her counterparts are always somebody who is not on her level, and that's the bottom line.
She lose to Adele or Taylor Swift every time.
Album in the Grammys, Album of the Year is The Ring. That's right. The ring.
That's the Super Bowl ring.
The championship ring you won, and they keep denying that from. You know what I'm saying? They
won't before you go, Kurt, I didn't preface this earlier. The point that Jay-Z was making was she has more Grammys than anybody, which is 32. Kanye and Jay-Z are second with 24, but yet she's never won the Album of the Year. But my take about this is going to be a little different at the end too. But go ahead.
So, one correction that Brother Ant said about the Jays, that was Miley Cyrus.
With the
Jays.
But didn't Taylor Swift make a song with Juicy J? Too?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
It was a little different. I think I'm pretty sure she did. Matter of fact, yeah, she did.
She got a song out right now with Ice Spice, so your point remains the same.
well, she started off as country, so her moving over to pop was definitely a money move, and she did have to get validation from, of course, us, because everybody loves our music. I will say one thing though: the young lady is talented.
She's very talented. Yeah, that's why I disagree with her.
Yeah, she plays instruments. She writes.
Yes.
She has a superb pen, I believe, and something like Heartbreak is international. So she taps into that, which is intelligent.
Yeah.
But I think she lacks things in other areas. As far as dancing, she makes sure she has. Now I know this because my daughter went to the concert. She has a load of black brothers and sisters singing backup, dancing, playing the instruments. So she's definitely tapped into that. But I will give her what she's done as far as marketing, what she's done as far as keeping her Swifties engaged has been intelligent as well. But the thing about Jay-Z talking about the Grammys, first of all, I didn't like the black Grammy. Just make it the regular Grammy and put descriptions on. I don't like that. I didn't like that shit at all.
Right.
Second of all, Beyonce's father got on and respectfully corrected Jigga in talking about, it's the record companies that are nominating these albums of the year.
Right.
So it's the record companies that you need to speak to, because he redirected the brother in love that you need to speak to when you got her, winning all these other categories, but they're not putting her up for album of the year. I think it was Adele that, they put in front of her before, and, someone else. But, I would have to say though, just about Jay-Z's speech, it just felt odd to me. It didn't sit well with me. Especially, and he actually he tried to, address it in a way that, made sense, speaking about Will Smith and saying he did the same thing, watched the Grammy. So basically saying, act like I don't care, but I do
you
care.
Really do. Exactly.
Right. You really do care. And I just thought it was much to do about nothing, man.
Exactly.
And how people was. I'm sorry, D, but
no, you good.
One last thing, his speech, it wasn't profound.
No.
People was passing that shit around for like a day. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't profound, so it only trended for a day, and that was it. Like, let's be honest.
Like the old people say, man. If somebody show you and let you know who they are, believe them. And the one thing that he said in that speech that set so wrong with me, and the people didn't pick up on it, was like, he's like, when I get nervous, I start to tell the truth. Like, what grown man?
Those are things that don't sit well with you.
Like, what grown man need to be nervous to tell the truth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially as you get older, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand that at all. What kind of fool is you? Right. But I was just like, why would he even say that? And again, people, he's sticking up for his woman in the whole 9 yards. Like,
he said,
but one thing. No, go ahead. No, what you about to say?
Nervous to tell the truth because he a puppet. And there you go. You can't. I get nervous because I don't know what's gonna happen.
But Kurt is absolutely correct when he talks about the record cut. Like the Grammys, and I learned this years ago, and it was so evident this year with Killer Mike, right? Because I was arguing with people on Twitter, because I do that sometimes, about Killer Mike's album not being better than KD3. But I told him, I said, Killer Mike will win because he's been campaigning. The Grammys is a campaign, because you're campaigning to voters, making sure they hear your music and letting them know why they should vote for your album. So Mr. Knowles was absolutely correct, because I believe Adele and Taylor Swift are both on Columbia Records, which is Beyonce's record company as well. And if they have to do a campaign, of course, in my opinion, they're going to choose one of those two artists. One, your girl is from overseas, so she can reach a broader, spectrum of fans. And then Swift is Swift. So that campaign takes place in-house when you're on the same record label with somebody as powerful as those other two women. So therefore, they win the record of the year. Like, she's won the record of the year, 5 album of the year 4 times. It's crazy. Mike only won it once for Thriller, and Prince lost. It was Prince lost Purple Rain to Lionel Richie. You know what I'm saying? So, but Stevie Wonder did win it 3 times.
I'm good, knowledge, brother, but we gotta understand the rules of something before we get emotional.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pass the collection plate.
Yep. Anything you got else, Kurt? Anything you got else, Ed, before we transition topics about the Grammys?
Well, also, just going back to Jay-Z's speech, and then going back to Beyonce, because my wife was talking about this, but why hasn't she knocked down the door as well as being a billionaire? You know what I'm saying? Like, all her counterparts are they making that money.
I got a good reason for that.
Let's hear it.
I got a good reason for that. And I think it's basically because, the first thing when you said that came into my mind was Rihanna's album. It was an international album, and it wasn't about Black women. It wasn't about her people back in Barbados. It was about love. And I think, and that's why the sisters love Beyonce so much. But to me, it's one of those things you can't have it both ways. And not saying you should be able to, because you should be able to. Mm-hmm. But when you shape your music around a particular part, some other people are going to join in, but not everybody is going to join in. So to me, Beyonce's music is pro-Black woman, which I think is amazing, because nobody really fills that gap like she does, and the work she does for sisters as far as her albums and everything shaped around it. So I think she shouldn't seek validation from the Grammys.
Agreed.
I think she should love what she's doing and love the people that love her.
Right. And I will say her sister does. She's just not as big as her, because I love Solange. But and we'll say this and move to the next topic. My brother wrote a nice piece. It was a real short piece about Beyonce. Now she released 2 new songs at halftime right after Usher performed 2 country songs. And what Kurt said is absolutely correct. She's been, vocal and been a positive presence for Black women. And I think now making this country album, she's cutting that umbilical cord. So we go see if these sisters really follow her into that country realm. I mean, she's from Texas. My homegirl brought up a good point. The Houston Rodeo is next month. So I'm assuming the Black Houston Rodeo is next month. So I'm assuming this country western album that she's dropping, she dropped 2 singles last night, is going to drop sometime soon. And then, like my man said, do she get the Grammy now because she's making a country album? Is that like giving Denzel the Oscar for Training Day versus Malcolm X or Reuben Hurricane Carter? You know what I'm saying? You give her the Grammy before the country album. So it's just a lot of variables and things like Arsenal say, things that make you go, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let me say one thing.
Yeah.
We started that motherfucking blues and country. So
let's not get it,
absolutely. Let's not get it twisted and tangled.
It's ours. It's ours.
When she do win.
Go ahead. And the cowboy blacks are the cowboy.
That's it.
So so you're right about that, because we just had in Colorado, they do the black stock show Martin Luther King Day weekend. That's when the black stock. Wow. Even though the stock show is going on the whole month, they do the black rodeo Martin Luther King Day weekend.
Wow.
So, and two, what was interesting, I just want just real quick with she also had like 2 or 3 commercials during, you know what I'm saying, during the Super Bowl, which was, that's not normal either. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of I don't know if this is like the whole marketing. We know the
no, it definitely is.
That's exactly what it is.
Even going back to what Jay said. Jay said this, but all these things were coming out.
That was the start of the rollout.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was the start of the rollout. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then boom, magically these 2 singles appeared after the last commercial aired. But let's transition to a more serious topic, man. And then we'll finish on a fun note. This Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin interview, 2 hours. It was very enlightening. It was very entertaining. But it showed, in my opinion, the world, and particularly America, a different side of Putin that we may not have known exists. So let's go to Ed, because me and him talked about this offline, man. What was your ideas and thoughts about this Tucker Carlson interview? Because it kind of dropped right around the time Monique's interview with Shannon Sharp dropped. And of course, the masses of our peoples go watch Monique. But what did you think about that interview and the sit down with Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin?
Well, let's just say it could have dropped any other day without Monique, but our masses ain't paying attention to Putin.
Right.
Absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? When they should, but I enjoyed. Dang man, this has got to be. The interview was good. Like Putin gives you a look at, basically, to me, he's smart. You know what I'm saying? He's educated.
Yeah.
I like how he came off top. He said, "You're a historian, so let me bring you up to speed on your level."
He did.
You know what I'm saying? Because Tucker thought he was smart, Alec. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Coming at Putin, but Putin is smart, man, and it gives a look at his intelligence. And the simple fact, it also looks at, you get to hear a different story. You get to hear different from a different mouth than versus a Fox, CNN, or the media outlets, what they want to give you in regards to Putin. And so, and it gives you on the country we live in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of deep. Putin basically told us that, our presidents, they ain't calling no shots. Somebody else calling the shots.
Which is true, right?
So, and that was, for those who, not knowing that, or, you know what I'm saying, or don't believe in that sentiment, it's like, I don't know, we've been told all this time about conspiracy theories, but these conspiracy theories they got a lot of truth to them, it seems like, or somewhat, And so Putin's telling the history of his country, and shit, who ain't I'm gonna be threatened if my neighbor is setting up shop with my enemy. That's my neighbor next door. You on my front lot. Like, hold up, it's a threat here. And my neighbor is say I'm from Ohio. My neighbor's from Ohio and letting Michigans set up shop. You should let Michigan sign. Hold up, how you like Ohio State? How you said that's enemy? Of course I feel threatened. And now when I react, of course it's gonna be run this narrative, but The Putin, I mean, and we can go back and forth some more,
Yeah.
As we go around the camp, our crew. But Putin, I'm a fan of Putin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a fan of a person who critically thinks and is not, what I'm saying, says what how they feel, because we all in this world have an opinion,
That's
and
right.
so I'm not scared to speak his opinion, but not only speak his opinion, but with some backing with it, and so, and I'll talk more, once we go around.
Yeah, for sure. Kurt, talk to me, man.
Yeah, I totally agree with some of what Brother Ann is saying. Putin, has been attacked multiple times through Ukraine, or Russia, I'm sorry, has been attacked multiple times in the past from Ukraine. So, a lot of us don't know that, rightfully so. So we don't understand truly what's going on. Um, now as far as, the way, Putin goes about um, getting power and staying in power.
That's a different
You know what I
story.
mean? Like I'm not a fan of that on any level for anybody, but there is a part of me that understands, totally understands protecting, your history, your culture, and
Right.
those things.
And let me say this: I agree with what both of you had to say. But and as I got older, man, the things that our elders, whether it's our grandparents, our parents, our aunts and uncles, elders in the church, the things that they kind of told us to stay away from, those are the things I kind of always wanted to go and look and check out and see why they was telling us to stay away from it. And Russia and the U.S. has always had a strained relationship. So when I learned that a brother named Alexander Pushkin created the Russian language, you know what I'm saying, and he was a little African brother, it made me look at Russia from a different standpoint. And I started to look more into their history. And when Putin was given the rundown in the history of Russia's history, I thought it was immaculate because he
Right.
showed you how smart he was, and two, he made his country, in my eyes, look a lot better than the way the media around the globe portrays them. You know what I'm saying? And two notes that I took down while you was talking, and when he talked about Ukraine, and this is the coldest part of the interview that people didn't really pay attention to. Ukraine has a heavy Nazi movement inside of it. It was a swelling movement to where it was a lot of Nazi people taking over in Ukraine. Much so, remember when they was kicking people out of the country and they was leaving the
Yep.
blacks and the African. He's like, so these are the types of things that I was fighting against, but yet the US is still sending them billions of dollars knowing they have the same type of problem. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was very, very strategic and very smart to point that out because, again, our media is not telling us that type of stuff. And
Right.
CNN did a report about the uprising in Nazism inside of Ukraine, literally a year and a half before the conflict happened with Russia. And then as soon as the conflict happened with Russia, they never even talked about that again. So I knew Putin had put that Easter egg out there for people to go back and do their research and see what was actually taking place in Ukraine and why they had a strained relationship with Russia. You know what I mean? And the main thing that was so funny to me is that when you look at Putin, when you look at leaders around the world, and then we look at our leader here at the crib, it's sad. It's sad. Like this is the person that's running our country. You know what I'm saying? And you look at Putin and other leaders around the country in comparison to this guy, like it is a joke. Like the world really looks at us as a joke right now, for real.
Yeah.
Like it's funny, but it's
Yeah.
true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, it's not just the world. Our own country look at us as a joke.
Yeah.
On the inside.
But a lot of us voted for him, though. A lot of us voted for him. So,
Well, and just it's off the Putin, but look at how our we got only time senior citizenship matters. It don't matter in our government. Senior citizen, my grandma's 92 years old. Let's just say, okay, 93. They don't let
and let's
we
be
look at
clear,
her
she 20 times sharper than Biden, but go ahead.
all day, all day. But I'm just, we start taking driving privileges away from them. They
Yes.
need to start doing this. Only do this. But yet and still, we'll take an 80-year-old and put them in the front of the country or in our government where we have 80 plus, 80, all these old people in our government. You know what I'm saying? Just it doesn't matter to that. You know what I'm saying? This man can't even get off stage correctly, man. And I don't think he's gonna run 2024 though.
He can't even complete a sentence right now, bro. Like it's sad.
We finna get the switcheroo. As for the Democratic selection, I believe too.
They talk about bringing Michelle out the bullpen. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's ironic that you say all that is that I thought your man Kennedy was dead in the water, but here he come with a
the Super Bowl ad last night
with a commercial from last night. I'm like, damn, he got. I know his family got money, but as far as using,
right.
As far as using them election dollars, like, damn, there's a lot of people that are obviously donating to Kennedy.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, dang, I missed some too. It just came to me when we discussed the Super Bowl, but I'll come back. We talking about Putin.
And before we get off on Putin, man, like, I know a lot of y'all might fast forward this section to get to the end. I'll give you a sneak peek. We're going to talk about Monique's interviews to end it off. But do yourself a favor and watch it. You know what I'm saying? You might learn something. Something might be intriguing to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be so closed-minded. The world is bigger than the bubble that you live in. You know what I'm saying? So,
and check it out. News, if you're watching world news, get all the angles, get everything, know everything, so you can formulate, you know what I'm saying, an opinion.
Like, and the reason I brought up Kennedy, he came to mind, is because he always talks nicely about Putin.
He does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Super Bowl, going back to the Super Bowl commercials, right? Did you see that it was a heavily influence of Jesus saves, Jesus, like a bunch. It was I saw a bunch of religious commercials in regards to, like, I don't even know what this church is, what they saying, whatever it is.
Well, they've been going hard on commercials, not Super Bowl, but they've been going hard on commercials for about a good 2 years, I think now. Yeah, so I know what you mean. I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, and that was I'm like, but what I'm saying and I say that because they had several different commercials too. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money that they put out there for that time frame. And it's just, for me, I'm looking like, did you set me up for a one world church, one world government, one world? That's what I was looking at.
Right. I like that. As
getting you under this umbrella of just getting you programmed, the MK of one, Jesus
that all-inclusive spirit. That's what I call it.
There we go. There you go.
For real. But let's get to the shenanigans, man. We got to give the people what they want, man. Club Shay Shay strikes again. Our brother Shannon Sharp, man. He had an interview with our brother Cat Williams back in January that broke the internet. Literally had over 55 million views at this point. And he had another recent interview with another comedian this past Wednesday. Our sister from Baltimore, Maryland, Sister Monique. And it was
Paul. I should have said Paul. Right. When you said Club Shay Shay, I'm like, right. I ain't calling that girl, man, delicious, man.
Right.
Club Shay Shay. That nigga's name Shannon Sharp. He get called Shay Shay.
But that's the name of the podcast. I ain't call him Shay Shay. It's all good though. Yeah. But she had an electrifying a conversation, and as our brother will probably say, and I beat him to the punch, a lot of stuff she said we've already heard. You know what I'm saying? It was only a tidbit of new things that she talked about. But Ed, man, what did you think about the Monique and Shannon Sharp interview?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the one I do like about the Monique interview is, with the black woman, they always want to discredit, with the black woman, they always want to discredit who her dude is, her man is. And I do like the fact that she brought that her husband, that's my man, like you know what I'm saying, like what she brought, like make it seem like far-fetched. Anybody's manager is gonna sit in on anything with their artist who they're managing. So for them to try to discredit and discount her husband, I like how she always puts him out there, you know what I'm saying?
I love
and
that.
All this, but I like how she set us up to, like, okay, I've been telling on people since I was in high school. You know what I'm saying?
She did.
I've been snitching on people because it's right. You know what I'm saying? So that let me know then, Monique, don't nobody tell you nothing. You're not a confidant.
Right.
Ain't nobody fucking with you like that. So she probably has she's rubbed people the wrong way, but she want to get the people. Everybody want to know gossip, man. Everybody want to know gossip and juice, and she laid it out there. I mean, the people she talking about. I mean, some people like you can look at it like Oprah, like probably, what I'm saying? She going at Oprah. Oprah probably like, I don't want to help nobody. Do y'all know what I did to get this? What I had to do to get this? What? We don't know what Oprah went through, but it does seem like she may shun. But as far as Monique, I mean, we said we get in line and getting ready to just hear juicy gossip. So whatever she speak her truth because my man French says whatever your truth is. He says it. I might say it out of how he says it, but it's whatever your truth is your truth. Is basically what I got when my man French says it too. So that's her truth. Monique, she trying to get a check, man. You know what I'm saying? And she know what to do to get a check, and she did tell a lot of truth. I don't know who gets hurt behind it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the interview dropped Wednesday, and she was on tour with Cat Williams on Friday. So,
bam.
It's a theory to what you said. Yeah, absolutely. But go ahead, Kurt.
Hey, so let's just put this out there that me and Diallo, we definitely had an exchange of opinions about the interview already. He seems to think it was bigger, than Cat Williams. I disagreed. I think, Cat Williams opened the door for her to walk in and repeat some things that, she has said in the past that wasn't received too well,
right?
And also wasn't listened to because of it was done in, her home and her phone with her daddy. So you know what I mean? So she was, saying they do the videos.
Yeah.
And they did another video recently after the club Shannon Sharp.
He said Club Shannon Sharp.
The Club Shannon Sharp interview.
There we go.
They did do something, but I will say this. I totally understand Brother Diallo's love for Monique. And I totally understand her messages that she's trying to get out because her message comes with warning. Her message comes with, information that is speaking about people that are wronging our people.
Right.
Now we're not going to be ignorant and think that just because our people may look like us are going to do us right. So it seems like, Tyler Perry and Oprah that she continually talks about are in that power position and they doing the same thing that people that don't look like us do when they get power. It's definitely wrong, especially because they had to struggle too. I agree with what you said, and you say, she worked hard for this. What's a lot of other people that worked hard for this too. And the main thing that I love that she did, because like my brother said, we want to get and hear the tea. We want to hear the gossip. But one thing she talked about, with Taraji, and I love just hearing the truth. And then once you hear that, you can do whatever you want. But once you went for that audition, when they picked you, that's where you messed up.
Yep.
So the game is being played. Why fall for it?
Why play it?
And then you got to go cry. And I know it hurt. I get the fact that it hurts.
Yep.
But you should have said no. And you didn't want to say no because you did want that money. But you didn't want a little money. You know what I mean? Like it's. I mean, what do you do?
Yep.
What do you do? You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
That's super facts. That's super facts. And it's two things I want to touch on real quick. I want to touch on what Kurt just talked about, and what he said is absolutely correct. Ed said it earlier. Jay-Z basically gave Jay-Z basically gave the PC version of the response that Jay-Z did at the Oscar, at the Grammys to what Kanye said 13 years before that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But black people, this is why I get mad at my people. And we do this, and Barry Bonds will love me when I say this. We pick and choose who we want to ride for. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Well, it's because we like Jay-Z more than Kanye, we'll take the message from him. Because we like Taraji more than we like Monique, we'll take the message from her. Well, she said the same thing that Monique been saying all along. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we have to be more consistent when we do and say things like that, because at the end of the day, like Monique said, no matter how you may feel about me, I'm fighting for the little girl that's in drama class right now that's 7 to 8 years old. So when she gets to this point, she don't have to work for substandard wages, and she don't have to worry about, being in a trailer that could potentially blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like what happened on the set of the movie Almost Christmas. You know what I'm saying? With the HNIC Will Packard. You know what I mean? Right. So, we got to stop being inconsistent. If a person is wrong, they wrong, and just call it out, a spade. You know what I mean? But I thought the interview was very entertaining. And the only thing that I said why I thought certain aspects maybe was better than Cat, because, I told Kurt this offline. I felt like, when Cat was talking about the 13 or 30,000 books and the 4440, I thought people would take that and make it like, if that's incorrect, what about the other stuff he could have potentially said that was incorrect? Even if we knew it was true. You know what I'm saying? Because we knew Sid took his joke, right? The internet did their job after the interview. We knew, you know what I'm saying, how Kevin Hart came from New York and just came right into a movie. So a lot of the stuff that he said was factual, but people will take something that you say being silly and being, a court jester, which comics are, and then try to dilute the rest of your message. And I thought Monique did a better job of just staying on task. And one thing that Ant said, I want to go back to, in the spirit of our people as it pertains, to helping out and giving a helping hand, our people have always reached back. You know what I'm saying? So nobody makes it on their own, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you say that Oprah might not have wanted to help nobody, she might not. But me personally, I feel like the each one teach one spirit, we have to leave that legacy for our children, because at the end of the day, we know that we come from a place of disadvantage because of how we were treated and set up in this country from its origins.
Yeah, and I say that, I mean, too, with Oprah, because I'm not a big fan of Oprah neither like that, but when you are friends, she's a billionaire. She's in the billionaire club. And she ain't turning around and looking at nobody that looks like us. So in order for her to get her money, keep her money, they're controlling her, is what I'm saying.
Got you.
Anytime you talk about Harvey Weinstein as your best friend, and this nigga's going through a fifth like this, like that's something to be said about you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is she shows who she's aligned with. The problem is she's at the top, like basically she's at the top of what our culture likes, entertainment. The billionaire, Tyler Perry's a billionaire in the entertainment industry. So they have so much. They're like, they keep talking that gatekeeper. They're the gatekeepers. They can decide whether French, D, myself, if let's say, Tyler Perry said, he sees this and said, I want to make Anthony a superstar. I want to make D a superstar. He can do that off one stupid ass show.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We get Drake on our podcast, our shit going banana.
Right. And shout out to all my family members that called and apologized, because I had been on Oprah's neck for about 15 to 20 years now. And when she did that hit piece on Michael Jackson with Never Neverland, and then she didn't say nothing about Harvey Weinstein and still hasn't said nothing about him, they was like, we see what you were saying now, brother, so we apologize. So shout out to y'all for coming to the light sooner than later.
Yeah, it takes that. It takes some time, because Oprah is you get a. You know what
I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Well, one thing I want to say before we all go, we know that, those people in power put, people in power, gatekeepers, they put the ones in power that they know are going to do what they're supposed to do.
That's a fact. That's a bar. We could drop the episode right there, for real. That's a bar. But man, before we close out, man, Ed, tell them about the foundation again and anything else you guys got going on. And just anything else you just want to share in general, man. Shout out to Grandma. Didn't Grandma just have a birthday too?
No, her birthday. Well, last August.
Okay, August. I seen her and Mom's in one on the cruise. I thought it was somebody's birthday. My bad.
Nah, they went on the cruise to get out. They went on.
Got you.
A week-long jazz cruise.
Yeah, Grandma's still out here living. I love it. 92 years young, man. That's beautiful.
She's inspiration, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how we supposed to. That's how we do it. You live,
that's real.
Treat people right. You know what I'm saying? And make sure your heart is right. That's right. Traillionaires Foundation.org. That's where you can reach. You can help our cause out. We have our like I said, our golf tournament next week in Vegas at the Wynn. It's February 21st, 22nd. If you want to donate, help out, or if you just last minute you want to pull up, and support, you can do that. But it's just our mission. I'm just trying to bring awareness and have money conversations with our culture, relationship with money, how to use money, because we tired of getting or just having that mindset of we want crumbs to fall off the table. No, we want to sit at the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Traillionaires, self-efficacy, financial literacy, and career readiness is what we operate on. Like I said, we got programs that we put in place and mentorships to make these things, these type of things happen, man. And just trying to finish this, this year off strong as a Black man in this society, and represent church after hours, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything you got, Frenchie, before we shut it down, man?
No, I don't have anything, man.
Hey, it was good having our brother back. He will be back sooner than later. We got some special episodes that we about to get into that we ain't gonna say just yet. So be on the lookout for that. And it's funny, I'll close with this because you'll get a kick out of this. The way you was complaining about your Taylor Swift, your godson was doing the same thing last night. He can't stand Taylor Swift. He didn't even want to watch the game, so I was like, "Yeah, that was hilarious." He was going in, man. But thank everybody for viewing, man. Hopefully you like this episode, and like, comment, subscribe, and please share with the fam. And we'll see y'all next week. Church After Hours.
Peace.